Well, hello everybody and welcome back to episode 9 of the Permaculture Pirate series here. Turns out there is one more to come this season. I am wandering off in, well, a final ditch attempt, if you will, to get some more hawthorn berries and some raspberries, because I had meant to go for those this year. Hadn't quite gotten around to it. It's an incredibly unusually warm day today. I am taking the opportunity. Of course, the wind always picks up when you whip out the camera. That's the way it works. Here we are back by the train tracks at the little patch, bramble, not quite sure what you would call it for these hawthorn berries, but we can clearly identify them because of their, see if we can find you a real good example here, hawthorns. That is not a small thorn, but that makes it real easy to see. And we've got some proof of life. So, I brought with us today a fresh bucket. Well, actually it's a very old bucket, but it's a bucket full of fresh landscaping compost. This is exactly what that stuff is for. Alright, so I measured my little bucket full of compost. It's approximately 10 inches deep. From previous knowledge, it's about 18, so I'm going to go forearm. Take it just below one of those little nubs. I've got some really good spikies on here, so I'm going to get quite a few cuttings, I think. Fill my bucket at or about that same length. And I'm not at all worried about ravaging the landscape here, because there are so many of these little bushes around right now. Really, I'm just giving it a good healthy pruning. So I'm going to keep clipping away, and we'll get back when I start putting them into the compost. So I'm going to follow as many of the basic cutting rules as possible. I've got this on a bit of a 45 there. And I'm just going to stuff that all the way down into the compost until I reach the bottom of my bucket and carry on. A nice angle cut and stuff. I think with these lower thorns I may need to cut them off, because they do make it kind of difficult to get them into the compost. But I'm assured by this thing called YouTube that this should work for rooting these hawthorn berries. So to be honest, I've completely lost track of how many cuttings I've got in here, but I know I wanted to save a little bit of room for raspberries, so I think we're done with hawthorns for now. Let's go off to find that raspberry patch I was talking about a few videos back. Itty bitty baby pine tree at the base of this tree. We'll be back for you later. But we dumped off that bucket because it somehow managed to completely fill up with hawthorn berries, and we are here at a nicely nestled away raspberry patch. So we're down in the heart of this little raspberry patch that appears to be growing in a long forgotten firewood pile. And again, I'm just going to grab cuttings that are roughly 10-18 inches long and take the bottoms off of them now. Might as well leave them here in this pile of leaves. And I'll collect a dozen or so of these. No harm that I'll be eliminating the raspberry patch by any means. So I've never actually rooted raspberry cuttings this way, but I have noticed that they have these incredibly furry or hairy little spines for their main stem. They share that with tomatoes, are also like that, and tomatoes pretty happy to root from a cutting like this. So I'm just going to take these and plunge them into my compost quite rudely, just like I did the hawthorns. And we will find out just how many raspberry cuttings I ended up getting out of that. Some of these are a little further up the cane, some of them are further down the cane. Got lots of options. If I can even get a couple of these to go, well, you guys know me, I will be a happy, happy teddy bear. Alright. Alright everybody, well thank you for coming along with me, and I guess as I said, episode 9 of the Permaculture Pirate. as we're doing a bit of a walkabout for cuttings. Hopefully we can get some of these raspberries to root. I feel pretty positive about that. Hopefully we can get some of those hawthorn berries to root. It could be quite an interesting hedgerow next spring if everything roots. I've got a lot of fruit and berries to deal with. Thank you very much for joining me here on the Bear Family Farms channel for yet another in the Permaculture Pirate series. I will see you guys next time.